Welcome to Recovery Live. I am on today with Dale Barker from Florida. As you can see, Tom is not with us. And we are going to give you some updates on what retreats are coming up first. And then we're going to tell you about a retreat that we just came back from. And then we're going to talk about things that we're grateful for in season for Thanksgiving week. So we do have a retreat in a couple weeks in Malibu, California at Sierra Center, and Dale will be there, and so will I. Then we have the virtual retreat there it is, January 5th through the 7th. It's virtual, so that one's really cool because we can have people from all over the world in that one. That's usually a really big one that we do every year in January. And those are the only ones that are kind of penned in right now that are so close, right, Dale? I believe the other ones are coming, so we'll have more updates with those in March and April and beyond. And you want to tell them about what's coming up on the 28th, the mocktail hour?
Yeah, they're having a gathering in New York City um, with some. Here's the flyer for it. If you're local to New York City, you should check it out. Definitely not local, being from Florida, but
And I'm in
um,
California, so I won't be there. But
maybe
they'll have some
sometime.
speakers and mocktails and panelists and in New York. So if you're around, please go and check it out. And then they'll have more in the future and we'll kind of see how that goes. Tom will be
Join
there because they're
join the conversation about recovery and how we can make it better and improve things for people.
exactly. Okay, so we just got back from Tucson, Arizona, and did a retreat out there at the Imbalanced Ranch with Tom and Casera. So that was fun. That was the first time I met Casera in person. And it was amazing and we learned a lot. It was different than what we're used to. And so we're going to kind of just go run down with that. And you want to start it off, Dale? How do you want to start that
Well,
conversation?
well, well. First off, now Casera is an old timer because she's been to 2 retreats.
Yes.
So, I mean, she went to Leesburg here in Florida, and then she went to Tucson. She's a traveling old timer now. She's one of the gang, and
Oh,
thoroughly enjoy getting to spend time with you guys and hang out. And um, I really liked Tucson. I was kind of surprised because it was in the desert, and I'm from Florida, and everything's green, and everything is shades of brown out there. Um,
it is.
but they had all the plenty of Starbucks, coffee shops. We found the airport is small. That's really nice, but it's hard to get to and expensive to fly there. So I don't know if I'll make a habit of going, but they want us to come back in balance. They said they wanted us to come back, so I look
Right. And
forward to
they
that.
did. They paid for our expenses, which was really
Right?
amazing because they paid for our flights, our food. They got us a Airbnb house. So all of us were in the same house and it was a nice house.
Yeah.
That was really fun to be together in one space. And
Yeah.
the rent a car. I mean, it was amazing.
That's quite different from our normal mode of operation, where we're donations are paying for everything, and we're pinching every penny, trying to make things um, come out as best we can with what we have. And but I mean, they really welcomed us and treated us quite well, fed us, and yeah, it was quite an experience working with all those young guys. I mean, that was different for me working at a recovery center, um, carrying the message of 12-step recovery at a recovery center. So it may be a new avenue that the 12 steps came to believe retreats recovery can come help other people the same way we've been helping people for the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah. that would be cool if we could. And we would need, we talked about it already. We would need to meet them where they are. We kept saying, because Sarah was really good with us with that,
Yeah.
and thank God she was with us because we were, I mean, so much older than them, so it was probably harder. First of all, we're talking about sobriety, and second of all, we're way older than they are, and their attention span wasn't there. So we had to kind of pivot and adjust as we went. So definitely we would like change those dynamics and probably incorporate where we would incorporate more interaction of going back and forth without interrupting the teaching, which we could totally do, but we would have to figure that out. Right. And what else? I guess, I mean, were the main things, the time frame of their attention, give them more breaks and interaction, and maybe bringing in some new blood to help us out because and maybe, I mean, because Sarah, for sure, she was amazing because she would talk to them one-on-one, and we saw how different they were outside the rooms one-on-one than when they were with the other guys and kind of feeding off of each other, and acting up a little bit. We did have counselors in there to tell them, take your earbud out and that kind of thing. And we'd have distractions at regular retreats as well, with people falling asleep and getting up. But this was, I think, because the room was a little compacted and there were so many of them at that lower age that it was, we learned tolerance and patience for sure. And all in all, I think, I mean, it was a way different experience because I think I've been to 14 retreats now, and this was just way different than anything I've ever experienced.
Right. Yeah, I remember it. It really took me back to when I was young and their age, and felt the things they were feeling and the way peer pressure would push you and prod you into doing things that maybe you wouldn't do by yourself, ways you wouldn't act out because of the group. And I just tried to focus on the ones that were paying attention. When I was taught public speaking, it was taught to make eye contact with people and speak to specific people in the crowd that were actually paying attention. And it helps to not notice all the people that are on their phone or on their having a private conversation or have their earbuds in or it was love and tolerance of others is our code, is the AA motto, is one of the AA mottos. And I definitely grew in that way this time because I don't normally speak to groups like that. AA is a very non-interaction type of speaking where you just talk and people listen and then they talk and you listen. But there was a lot more interaction with these guys. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And at the end, they seemed very appreciative, some of them, that we came, and they hoped we would come back because they learned a lot.
Especially the counselors, we got a lot of good feedback from them.
Right.
Which was, I was grateful that they were in there. A few of them were in there to experience with us and also to see and to kind of control some of that stuff for us because we couldn't really, I mean, we could have said something, but it was better to come from them.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the ranch, I think, the best with the horses.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Because I knew about a horse whisperer and how people have connections with animals because my wife has really a good connection with animals. But I never really experienced that until the lady was talking about how you can't hide your feelings from the horse, and that and how they look at life because they're a prey animal and they're prey and we're a hunter. So you have to understanding that about a horse and how it reacts to things is, I was ignorant, completely ignorant of all that stuff when I was young. And I didn't know how, I just hid all that stuff and stuffed it all down. So to be able to be around those kind of animals and take care of them and learn from them, um, that was quite an experience for me. I just really thought long and hard about that, and I was grateful I was there.
Yeah, that was neat because we learned from I don't know what she was, the horse trainer, and there was a couple of them, but she
Yeah,
gave us that part of the tour. And it's mandatory that these guys have horse time. So they somehow pick which one they relate with. There was, I think they said 38 horses. And so they pick and they take care of it, they ride it. Even if they're afraid, or they don't want to say they're afraid, they hate horses or whatever, they say, well, you can start with just washing it and cleaning it, but eventually you're going to get on it.
right.
And then they learn, talked to some of them that they just love the horse and they're connected, and they learn the horse will act a certain way if the kid is off. The horse knows, which is
Right.
fascinating to me. And they'll teach them the ones that need to work on boundaries. That would have been me. The horse can like get in their space, and they teach them how to, no, you're here. And then they'll keep, and you have to like, and then they said that translates to people, like, and now they have barriers, boundaries with the horse. So then when there's people around, they can practice that too. It was just fascinating, all those lines together as she was talking to us.
Yes, it was,
And
and I would literally love to have that in a presentation because I
mhm.
think that would be. I mean, I was emotional sobriety. I didn't know anything about it until I went through the steps at 33 years old, um, and the whole concept of being able to be aware of things like that is really intriguing to me. I always the types of movies and TV shows I like to watch are all I like the interpersonal dynamics and how things go because I learned from that kind of stuff. Still, at 62 years old, I'm still learning um, that I don't know everything and I want to know more. So that really helped me. It was a great experience, and just to let you anybody know out there, they probably don't take 62-year-old guys there, but if you qualify,
I know, I wish they did, right? And I wish they take women. I mean, this is all men.
right? They
Yeah.
tried to hire Casera.
I know
So
they want to steal her. They do. She would be perfect there, but we'll see. One
she's
day, maybe. Watch out. Yeah. And then too, I think I sent you guys videos. I live next to a ranch and they have horses and cows and stuff. So I was joking in Tucson, like, well, if I went to a horse, it would run because it can feel my tension and anxiety. So I was out there and I went up to them, and two started coming up, and then I would like pet them. And one was like, wanted nothing to do with me, but it was just fascinating. Like, can it pick up that? I mean, I'm afraid of them. And then one kind of stayed, but I want to talk to my neighbors, and I asked them if I'm sure they know about this stuff, and or tell them, and then
right.
maybe I can like go see their horses more because they're just amazing animals and they're right here. But that was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I have people have horses several places around where I live out here in the country and east of Orlando,
You
and
should go check it out.
I do. But people pull over all the time or are taking pictures, and but yeah, it's I have a quite a different perspective now um, of horses, and I value them more, I guess, now because I just didn't understand how that worked, that connection, and I understand
Yeah.
more about it now. So
Yeah. And that's only one portion, a big portion of it, right? But they had school, to finish their degree and get
right,
ready to go on. And then they have a lot of counseling. They have trips, and they have like yearly big trips like Nepal and like out of the country stuff, right? Which
right,
we didn't hear a lot about, but we saw some pictures. And yeah, the ranch was pretty amazing how structured it was. And they have routine, and their rooms need to be cleaned, and they have, which they need obviously at a rehab, but
sure.
it was quite amazing.
It was
Yeah.
and a very kind of a undisciplined atmosphere as far
Yeah.
as
Oh, and
and
a gym. They
they
had
were
a full
allowed
on
they were
CrossFit.
allowed to be themselves and allowed to make mistakes, and they were allowed to. Uh,
But they had to stay in their boundaries and their
well,
schedule,
but they could
right?
go at their own pace, And
Hmm.
their pace got them in trouble, then they were encouraged to change their pace. That they needed to, or they wouldn't be able to allowed to stay there. Um, but I mean, they had a house for adolescents to be able to go to high school. The house was right next to a high school, so they could just walk to school. They could get their diplomas if they had missed school, and get their GEDs if they were older than I guess school age. And then they had the one for the college kids too. That they could graduate to that house, to a different.
Yeah, they had three different houses
Yeah,
outside the ranch, right? The collegiate, I don't know what the names were. The
yeah,
high
they
school, collegiate, and then one kind of in between the two, maybe.
yeah the guys kind of
Yeah.
just worked. If they were in that house, they worked. They weren't in
Mhm.
school, so um, I
Those were actually the men that weren't as disciplined as the ranch kids, which you had that group, didn't you?
yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
oh
just see
yeah,
a little bit of a difference? They were a little more free and a little more,
yeah, they were
a little more.
a little less attentive too. Just a little more uh,
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
have fun instead of trying to learn anything. But they went through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous in a weekend, or 3 days, and they can never nobody could ever take that experience from them. So
That's right. We
you
planted
know,
seeds and some got it. And I think, we
yeah,
planted seeds in the others.
yeah.
And
And the ones that didn't get it are going to watch these other guys who did, because they're still going to
I
be there.
I think so too. And hopefully they'll like want to do that too,
Yeah,
right? That'll rub off.
that's kind of how it works in AA. It's supposed to be how it works. Um,
Hmm.
we get better by helping people, and helping people help people, hurting people hurt people. So the more helping people we can get, the less hurting people we have. That's always a good thing.
Right. Okay, so that was Tucson. Now let's talk about Thanksgiving stuff. What are you doing on Thanksgiving?
My daughter is coming over and bringing all the food from the honey baked ham store, and so we're gonna have.
Fun fact, his daughter's birthday is January 16th, like mine, and her name is Alicea, like mine. I'm a little older than her, but what are the odds of that, right? Okay, go ahead.
Well, my birthday's on the 16th too, but August.
Okay.
So yeah, it is kind of a interesting thing how numbers work out sometimes.
Yeah. So
But
does
yeah,
this be you and Stephanie and Alicea?
yeah, just our small family unit. That's how we like to spend the holidays. It's not because we're about eating and hanging out together and watching stuff, like TV shows or movies or something. We might do a Lord of the Rings trilogy, or
Yeah.
something very Thanksgiving themed like that. Something
Right.
science fiction. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes. Yes. Well, we're doing at our house, and Tim's family lives. A lot of them live here in Auburn, where we are. So and his brother and wife just moved up here too. So now we have two more family members by us. So we're gonna
Wow.
have that. I got the ham. His mom's gonna make the turkey. I'm gonna make red meat too, of course. And then they're bringing all the garbage. And they're going to come early, actually. So just come in the morning and we'll cook and prep and play music and just hang out like all day
Nice.
after I work out. And then the boys can be outside looking at the trucks and the cars or whatever. And so, yeah, that'll be fun. And there'll probably be about 15 of us, usually about 15, with his sister, brother, and then sister's kids and significant others and his mom. And yeah, so it'll be good. And
All right.
I don't think we'll watch movies because there's so many of us and we don't have enough seating. But we'll probably just hang out, talk, and chill and That's all. And sometimes we play games, but sometimes we're just talking so much we don't even bring out the cards or stuff.
That's
But
good.
and there is alcohol involved. Will there be alcohol involved with yours? Does your daughter?
No,
No.
I mean, she'll have a drink, but not here. We just don't
Okay.
have it. We don't have alcohol, and she won't bring it. She respects our.
Your sobriety. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of, well, I'm the only sober. Oh, no, no. His brother's sober. We have two sober. And
Hey.
then all the 13 of them will be partaking, but
Yeah.
that's what we're used to. It's fine.
Yeah.
All good.
Never really had any kind of alcoholic stuff going on at holidays with my family. It was just, um, we just like the way we do holidays now. It's just nice and it's small and it's easy to manage. It's not stressful. And it's, I mean, my daughter, well, I'm not going to say what her age is, but she's adult and she wants to come and hang out with her dad and her meep. That's what she calls Stephanie. And, she thinks, we're the coolest people around. So
Right. That's something to be grateful for. That's what
I'm
we were
very
talking
grateful, very
about too.
thankful.
Yeah. You remind me, I have something, it's not Thanksgiving-ish, but it's the same line as my mom lives in Las Vegas. My oldest son lives in Southern California. I'm in Northern California, and my youngest is now in Georgia. So we fly 3 times a year to my mom and just hang out for a weekend, and then everybody goes home, and we're due for another trip. But it's amazing that my 33-year-old son and my 22-year-old son still want to hang with mom and grandma. I mean, if I wouldn't have done that at 22 or 33, but I'm so grateful that they're willing to hang out with us and do a bunch of nothing. And I'm going to take advantage of it now before they get married and have kids and stuff, because then, we could bring all of them, but then it just gets so complicated, you
Right.
know?
Right. Well,
So
it's quite a gift, from just the guy who couldn't drink normal, um, to be able to be where I am now, to be able
and
to
your
live.
daughter wanting to be with you
Just,
and coming
yeah.
over. Yeah.
If that was all I got, that would have been worth it. But that's not nearly all I got. You know,
Right. Got a whole life,
a
right?
whole
In every area.
a life worth living because I'm able to help other people, instead of just, taking. I'm able to give back, and I never was that person before. And it's really nice to be that person now.
Mm-hmm. Well, what else are we grateful for? Let's think.
I'm grateful for going to Malibu.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
Or is it,
that's my surfer, uh, dream place to go. Went from Surfer Magazine back in the '70s.
it is two
Because there
weeks.
wasn't any internet back then.
Are
So
you gonna
it was
are you
magazine.
gonna yeah. Are you well no, Stephanie's not going, right? I was gonna say, are you gonna stay over a little bit and kind of beach it? But it's
Well,
cold.
I really don't know because I don't. They don't have there's not like a big team of people down there that
Yeah, it's not.
where I would stay with somebody, or, I haven't found that out yet. I don't even have any booked my flights yet. I don't know what
Oh,
days
you
I'm
better get
going
on
in,
that.
yeah, coming back. So I'm still waiting to hear about that. And, um, but it's I just want to go, and, um, I really like traveling. It's very exciting to me, to see new things and meet new people, and, overcome challenges on the fly and wing it. Just wing it. You know me. I just like to wing it.
Yeah. I need to learn from you. I need to wing a little bit sometimes. All the
Well,
time, I need to wing.
you seem very, capable in everything you do. So I think winging it, you can learn how to do that too.
I need to practice winging. I need a
Practice,
t-shirt.
practice, practice.
Yes. What else? I don't love travel, but I love retreats. And and I'm getting used to the travel, and which is something that I didn't really do ever before, not much. I'm just not into it. I like being home. I'm a homebody. I like my stuff, my gym, my food, my house. But I'm doing it. I bring my food with me and find a way to exercise. Oh, because Sarah and I ran every morning together. That was super fun too, and did some push-ups and stuff in the backyard. So that's cool too to see that. I mean, I can travel and I can still make it work.
Yeah. 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 I was kind of shocked that you guys went out and ran in the middle of kind
It
of
was
early in the
dark.
morning. It wasn't light really, and in a
Mm-mm.
place you'd never been before. And then I saw that coyote go across the street into the backyard across the street, and I thought, oh yeah, they could be tracked down by coyotes.
I didn't see that. No, but we were running the second day, I think, and a lady stopped in a car and was saying something about robberies in the neighborhood and stuff. And we're like, we don't live here. And then I got scared. Like, what if she's has somebody in the back and they're going to take us and steal us? And we're like, and then she drove away. I was like, oh my gosh, we need a gun or a male with us because just two girls just running around in the dark. Not so smart, but
I guess it's an act of faith, huh?
I guess. And we did it the next day too.
When Stephanie and I went to Alaska last summer to speak at the AA convention up there, we we stayed with a guy the first night we were there, and he told me not to go outside in the morning when I got up. And I said, well, why not? Is it going to be cold? And he says, no, there's bears and they'll drag you off and eat you.
Oh,
And I said, so he says, don't go out without a gun. And I have guns right here, and I have guns over here, and I have, just pick one up and take it. I just didn't go outside.
I wouldn't go out either. Ugh.
There aren't bears in Florida that are big enough to drag you off and eat you. So I just stayed inside, and we stayed somewhere else. But that was quite an adventure. I mean, really.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, aren't there could have been bears at Nevada City retreat, right?
Yeah.
But we still went outside there also.
They said there were bears.
Yeah. Well, there won't be bears in Malibu.
Probably not.
I hope not.
Just on the beach. There'll be bear people.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. It's going to be cold.
Oh, really?
Well, it's not. It's December, so it's probably going to be 50s, 60s degrees.
That's freezing for Florida people.
I know. It is.
I'll have to dress accordingly.
Yeah. All right. What else are we grateful for? And then we can wrap it up.
What else are we grateful for?
The steps. I'm grateful for my ability to stay in the steps and stay in 10, 11, and 12 and what God is teaching me.
Right.
And I've said it before at retreats, and so true. And we already touched on it, though, that we, as teachers or speakers or whatever we are at retreats, we learn just as much as they are learning, just in a different realm. Like from Tucson, right? We got a lot of lessons throughout. As we're we're teaching them, we're also learning. So
sure.
It's uncomfortable sometimes, but I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that, to keep recognizing it and talking about it with other people, knowing that I'm not alone, and we can learn through it and pivot my thought patterns if I need to, and learn maybe how to wing it one day.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's a really important thing. A lot of people that go to AA or NA, they talk about going to the meetings, and they never get into doing the steps, and they don't do the steps for themselves, so they can't help other people do the steps. And if you ever read the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it lays it out so perfectly of how that kind of activity ensures you'll never drink again or you'll never use again. working with others like that. So I'm very grateful and thankful that I found what I found. It it really wasn't because I was looking for it. It just happened. I attended a retreat and I had a life changing experience because I went through the steps, and my whole life turned, like it says in the book, the turning point, and I started going another direction, and uh, I'll always be grateful to those people, and a lot of them have passed on. Um, I hung around the people with the gray hair, and now I'm one of those people with gray hair. Um,
I am too. I just color it.
yeah, I used to color my hair, but I got tired of
Well,
spending all that money.
yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
When you got short hair, it you have to color it more often. It seems like to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we can set it early for Thanksgiving. Being grateful for our sobriety and grateful for the ongoing growth that we're going through, and hopefully see you guys at a retreat upcoming. January is virtual, and 2 weeks is Malibu. There's still spots.
Right.
And then there'll be more dates coming in the future.
Yeah, and it's a good time to give in the season. So if you can financially support us in any way, that would be greatly appreciated. It's very easy to do on the website, cametobelieverecovery.org.
Yeah.
So have a great Thanksgiving.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for you guys.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.